Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com, and I have done videos before on CPAPs and ortho and kind of what to do and what not to do, but I actually have an updated video. So since I've made that video, I've talked to a lot of sleep professionals, MDs, ENTs, pulmonologists. I mean, like, I've talked to so many people in the industry, so I have a lot more information. Ultimately, I'm not trained in quote unquote sleep dentistry. I don't make these appliances and stuff like that, mandibular advancement appliances for adults. I mean, I'm an orthodontist, right? But we do see patients as orthodontists who maybe have sleep appliances. So I'm familiar with that. I'm always going to send it back to the GP for the sleep appliance. And most GPs who are working with doing sleep appliances are working with MDs. And most of these patients, if that's not their MD, then they have their own sleep MD. So there needs to be a bunch of people involved in any decisions that you make. So you need to make sure, first of all, if you are treating a patient that has a CPAP, what you can't do is you got to watch out, because if they have a sleep appliance and you change their bite, then if, let's say they don't have a CPAP, then their sleep appliance isn't going to fit. There are some that can go over aligners, but not great. There's a few better ones, and I'm not the expert on this. I think Erin Elliott has some great feedback on this if you take her course. But ultimately, the thing about CPAPs is what I'm learning is that there's different ways that they attach to the face. There's ones that go over the mouth, there's ones that go over the nose, and then there's a nasal cannula one. The one that is best for doing ortho, that I feel most comfortable for doing ortho, and this is what I'm hearing from other orthodontists, it would be this one, because it really doesn't restrict. There's no straps that go over that might prevent transverse movement. There's no positive pressure going in on the teeth that might affect the movement of the front teeth. This one is just going down the nose, so it doesn't affect the mouth movement. So this would be the one that I might feel comfortable, but I still wouldn't do it without running it by the pulmonologist first and saying, hey, is it okay if we do this? Just because, it's just standard of care. I would say communicating with the physician and just getting that medical release saying, is it okay if we do orthodontics? Now, there's been a few patients that I've heard that, when I work with some of my clients, where they're thinking about doing ortho because they're wanting a sleep device after and they're wanting to throw away their CPAP. Well, we can't make that decision. So you don't want to go down that rabbit hole, because that's going to get you in trouble, because that is a whole bunch of liability if you're telling the patient that's okay. Unless the sleep physician says this is the plan, that's okay if you do ortho, and then later you can do an MAD device for sleep, then that's fine. But you would want their okay on that. So I always get a little bit suspicious whenever there's a CPAP user, even if they're nasal cannula. And to be honest, I would verify it to exactly what device it is with the physician, not just take the patient's word for it, because I have personally and have had other clients that they haven't known the patient was on CPAP. It just never came up, or it wasn't on their screening. It turned out they had this sucker, and they were just getting some really strange outcomes. It just wasn't possible, just because the positive pressure and the straps and all that it's just another force. So, and there's just no way you can program that into the Invisalign algorithm. So things aren't moving properly. It's just strange. It's just terrible outcomes. So terrible outcomes for this, really terrible outcomes for this, somewhat terrible outcomes for this, pretty good for this. So yeah, just be careful if you're taking those cases. Hopefully that's helpful. Ultimately, like I said, I defer everything to the sleep physician, and I wouldn't touch a patient with a CPAP without getting that medical release. All right, thanks.